Es un honor para mí en este momento estar en esta transmisión desde el Encuentro Nacional de Yoga, platicando con los distintos maestros que han venido a visitarnos y sobre todo, bueno, pues hoy tenemos a una invitada de honor, que qué barbaridad. Yo me siento súper honrada de poder platicar con ella. A partir de ahora la conversación será en inglés, pero te pondremos subtítulos para que puedas seguir escuchando. So, Shiva Rea, it's just an honor to be with you in this podcast. Thanks so much for being here.
Con gusto.
Shiva, I really want to ask you, because I think we never have spoken about this. When did you start in this practice? Like, how was when you were young and when you were a child, and how everything started developing for you into being the goddess you are now, and being such an amazing teacher, traveling all around the world?
Oh, well, it's always an honor to be with you.
Thank you, Shiva.
And I think I can answer that question on several different levels, because the truth is we all begin in this very I say 9-month retreat in which we are fully in yoga.
Yeah.
Right? The mantra is our mother's heartbeat. We're doing all of this movement that is creating our body. And so that is actually the realization I've had from now being on this path. My father gave me my name, and he was a surfer and a young artist. So we were first on the beach for, the first 5 years of my life. But when we moved to urban Oakland, that's when I saw my mother going to these first yoga classes in the early 70s in Berkeley. It was such a time of change. I was the only white girl in my entire elementary school. It was the time of the Black Panther movement. And we would just see all of the Hare Krishnas, chanting and bhakti. And, so it was amazing to have those impressions. But having this name, Shiva, from birth, for me is really the essence of yoga that I've come to realize. And that's what made me curious when I was 14 to go deeper. At that point, we had moved to Memphis, Tennessee, and I found a book in the library from the Himalayan Institute. And I felt a kind of an awakening, like something that had always been inside, which I feel is always inside all of us.
Yeah.
The state of a unified consciousness, this wholeness, the single cell we begin. So from about 14, I started to really meditate first on my own from this book in a very simple asana, and then finding the only yoga class in Memphis, Tennessee, and having to, ride my bike there because I wasn't driving yet, and basically spend all of my Saturday afternoon just really starting this amazing contrast to the chaos of being a teenager. And at that point, I was really an athlete. I was playing all of, basketball and track. So it also really started to help me on a very practical level with the stresses that I was experiencing. And so when I was invited to go to this kind of a program for college students to go abroad, I wanted to go to India. And so that's where my first inspiration all began.
And then you have been going to India on and on, I think maybe 2, 3 times a year. And after all that time, all these years of practice, how do you integrate all the knowledge that you have been studying about, through the years and practicing? Like, what is really the most important that we as human beings know? Your own realization, as a teacher and as a practitioner, like that you want to share?
Yeah. I think it sometimes resides in the questions. Like sometimes people say, how many times a day do you practice? Or for how long do you practice?
Yeah.
And I think as I look into your eyes, I think you have a similar experience. I would say maybe 18 hours. 16 hours a day, and that it really becomes the flow of consciousness.
Yeah.
And so for me, that is meditation in movement, the movement of everyday life, particularly when the road is rocky, particularly when we're going through, such intensities, whether it's in our own communities. As you know, we went through the fires,
I know,
in Los Angeles.
Terrible.
And just throughout my life, I see what a powerful life savings account. Every conscious breath, every movement, particularly collective yoga practice, every time we come together, it's adding to our realization of really what is the most powerful force when, it all comes, down. What is the reality that you're left with? And it is this connection to a greater love, a consciousness that we experience all around our sacred planet. So I really do feel yoga is our universal legacy. So my background in world arts and cultures, and then going to, master's level in dance movement therapy, really has given me this experience over these decades of teaching of really our global yoga lineage, both the profound practices that have emerged from India, but then spread all over the world, both from that diaspora, but also from every culture has their movements, their chants, their music that brings people into this unified state.
And you do it impressive, Shiva. I was last year in Todos Santos, and the magic that you create with the, how do you say, the sticks?
Yeah.
And the dance and the music, it's like a ritual, no? Like
yes.
Something really special that you create. And also, I think you have a very feminine side.
Yes.
In all that you teach, and I think we are missing that in society lately. No, it's like there's like a confusion, and we women have become so young, and so and what do you think about this that it's going on lately?
Yeah. Oh, well, my first real Satguru experience was with Amachi, who gave me my mantra when I was 19. And she's a hugging saint from, the simplest of fishing villages. And she, goes around the world and gives people that direct experience of a loving connection beyond words, beyond concepts. And yet we've studied so much through, her really bringing the Shakti sadhana, for instance, the Lalita Sahasranama. It's such a powerful text in South India. All of these texts that are connected to the Mother Goddess tradition. And yet in the West, we really don't know of these sacred texts. And many of them are so much older than... Well, the Yoga Sutras is such a profound text, but, Patanjali is carved in Chidambaram, which is the great temple for not only Nataraja, but Natarajika, Shiva and Shakti as this dance of life. So I think from going to India, I really started to feel that this dancing worldview, it'd be like going to a church and seeing not only, of course, Jesus on the cross, but Jesus dancing, because we know that Jesus not only danced, but Christianity was a danced religion for, 300 years or so, until this kind of oppression of movement came about. And I think that that's connected to our disconnection from nature, our disconnection from, indigenous roots. And so I also go into my own ancestral traditions in Celtic world, and also, my family's from a tiny island off of Sweden. And when we go into these, ancestral roots, we see how important this collective consciousness And ritual means we have to set down what we're carrying, what we're worried about. We have to set it down and then experience how we can open our perspective, remember our interconnectedness. And I think that it's true, maybe the female teachers, and it will happen in our lifetime that we'll understand how important the matriarchal and matriarchal, you can say the fertile bed from which yoga emerged. Like in the Indus Valley, most people don't know it was a matriarchal culture, or that most of the figurines are of the goddess. And we see images of music and dance. And so I think we're going to experience a broader understanding of yoga within all of the world's movement meditation traditions, and start to kind of integrate who we are ancestrally as well as in these lineages. And I'm now a member of this women's temple drum troupe called Chenda.
Wow.
So it's always really important for me. You know, I've been studying in different lineages like Kalari Payat. So, you know, what I share here is from roots, and evolution is being able to offer that in a way that connects us back to the roots, but helps us remember who we are and what we have. I love, you know, all of the powerful sacred places in Mexico and all of the ritual that is here. So I find that the Mexican yoga community, almost more than any place in the world, understands the power of the heart and understands the power of ritual. And I love every moment that I've ever been in Mexico.
God. Thank you. I remember we went to visit a Guadalupana together on our knees. Never forgot. It was an amazing experience, Shiva.
We went back again in December.
Oh my God.
And I'm feeling, how can I go on the way to the airport and take a crawl? Because it's one, you know, all of the names and concepts. That's what I love about yoga. They're like, if yoga can help you in your spiritual tradition or your feeling of vitality beyond any one religion, then yoga is like, that is so beautiful. You know, so I'm always going on these Christian pilgrimages, and, you know, I was just in Turkey, and I feel very comfortable in this mystic heart of the world.
I'm so thankful with you for this moment, and this very interesting to share that you share this from your heart. And it's an honor for me to have you in this podcast. Thank you so much for coming to the Encuentro, for being here. You know, I admire you. I love you. I went to visit you in Yoga Journal conferences for years. You remember, for years.
Yeah, and this, I really want to take a moment and really honor you, because I have known you over these several decades. And I've known how much you really, from your heart, you know, taken on the hard work of organizing. But it's also joyous work, because we get to, you know, meet each other and, you know, see. But, you know, I can't thank you enough for having the courage to, you know, of that hard work, and to make the connections and bring us together, and to do it with so much love, and to be an amazing teacher yourself, so connected to Ayurveda, you know, Kundalini yoga, and, you know, all of these forms you have a part of you, and it makes a difference. You're not just, you know, a leader, you know, an organizer. That's your vehicle to bring what's in your heart out into the world. So,
you're amazing.
No, it's really all, you know, just so much respect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your words, Shiva.
It's true.
Thank you. Y muchas gracias a todos los que nos vieron. Me quedo muy conmovida. Los vamos a dejar con estos mensajes de nuestros patrocinadores y nos vemos en otra edición más de este podcast. Gracias por suscribirse. Thanks so much, Shiva. Gracias.